In this video, we're going to be discussing about the Cursor IDE and how we can use it to build full stack AI powered applications. So this is an IDE that was introduced that allows us to use AI to build apps and files for us, and it's a really amazing tool. And it allows everywhere software gets built. Cursors in GitHub reviewing your PRs, a teammate in Slack, and anywhere else you work. So a lot of people love this tool, and it's kind of like a fork to GitHub Visual Studio Code. But this is something that is very useful now, and I recommend everyone having an experience with it. So when you download it, you should see something like this running. So it's similar to how Visual Studio Code looks like with the editor view and then the agents view. You have two different views. So this agents view, um, kind of like a chat bubble where you can tell what you want to build and you have different options to choose from. Here we have the agents and you can see it's set to auto, but if we don't select it, we can use Composer 1, which is Cursor's first agentic coding model. And it has 200,000 context window. Well, we have 4.5 Opus and Sonnet and all these other models. But if you select auto, it would just do it based off of that. But we would just go with Composer 1, which is the one that Cursor provides. And over here, you can set plan, which would create a detailed plans for accomplishing tasks, debug if you want to systematically diagnose and fix bugs while using runtime traces, and ask if you have like a question related to your application. I'm going to go with a plan right now, and I'm going to think of what we could build for this app. Before going forward, you can see over here in the preferences, when you go File and Preferences, and when you go to Cursor Settings, you can see over here there is an option here where there is Agents, and over here you can see the different options of auto run modes and along with um, agent mode, so mode for new agent. Okay. And then we also have the tools in MCP. And if you have any custom MCP, what you want to add, you can add it here. But we don't have any, so we don't need to include that. So other than that, we have the general settings, the default layout and the editor settings and other things like that. So let's just close that out. And over here we go ahead and we build. And we could build anything almost from a web app to a mobile app to something like a game or some kind of backend logic code or some kind of tool, backend tool. So what I'm going to create is a simple web application game, and we're going to try to mimic Flappy Bird, but we're going to use the version here. So let's go ahead with this voice input. Build me a full stack AI powered game called Flappy Bird that uses the mechanisms just like how a normal Flappy Bird game would look like. It would have the controls to go up and down, and there would be pillars you would have to avoid. And it also tracks the score along with playing a sound whenever you pass an obstacle. Make sure it looks somewhere like an MVP, just with basic features, nothing too complex, and that's all. Now I stop that and I would delete the last things. And this is really cool because now you can voice the prompt and then you would just press the send button here. Now, this free users can only use GPT 4.1 or Auto as premium models, so we'll just cross that out and let the agent do its thing. So over here, what you would see is um, Composer 1 is kind of working on this. So if I press send, okay. So let's go ahead and go with auto mode, okay? Since they're requiring me to upgrade the plan. But if I do auto mode, it should planning next moves. And then once it does, it would open up my folder. So originally I created a folder here, which is called Demo Cursor App in the projects folder. So it would go into the editor section here and it would start creating that for me. So now you can see over here, it started creating a list. What do you mean by AI powered? Flappy Bird, this affects the scope significantly. AI player can AI player can play the game automatically, AI that adjusts difficulty. Okay, now I can add over here, add more optional details. And so I can also edit the prompt because I didn't really mean AI powered. So let's just go full stack game, okay? And then press enter. And it should have fixed that for us. And then you can see Flappy Bird Game MVP is on the top as a title. And then we're planning next moves. And it's just gonna go out and create the plan for us. We could go here in the editor screen and you can just view over here the chat window being updated here as well. So, going back here, you'll see that it's just going and, generating all the files and the planning first of all, and then hopefully all the information for us. So yeah, what technology stack would you use? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Um, by full stack, do you want a backend for storing high scores or just a complete working game front end only? So, we'll say, okay, we'll store the backend for the code. So I just gave the answers to the two questions it asked for. Now it's moving the plans to the next steps. And we just wait until it gives us other questions. Now here on the right side, you can see over here, Flappy Bird full stack game overview, and it gives us the architecture, and also it gives us the backend files. It's going to use Express Server, and it has the file structure and also the server, how it's going to work, and then the implementation details, along with all the information here. So you could go ahead and also edit these steps as well. So eight to-do plans. So we have create a package.json with dependencies, build Express server with API endpoints, create index.html, create styles, implement game, sound effects for all that. So if we're all good with all of these informations, we say okay, build. So when I click on build, it would go on to the next steps where it's gonna create a folder for the front end and it's gonna create a folder for the back end. So you'll see all these being implemented. Now you can see over here it's generating a bunch of stuff for us. So we just go ahead and let it do its thing. And in the meantime, you can see over here index.js, HTML scores.json, server.js back. All of this is being created here on the right. And we just let it do its thing for us. And then hopefully you can see over here things are being populated as well. So we can also add in another agent side by side, so multi-agent running. So one can be creating the game while the other can be creating a front-end website of a landing page of how people can understand the game, read about it, and also a button where they go and click. Okay, so I can just say, okay, so now create a discrete landing page about the Flappy Board game where people can read about how the game is and also click on a button to go and play the game within the exact same URL. So it should be a basic front end landing page for the Flappy Bird game. So, you can see over here I'm gonna have to pause that and I love this tool actually, and this is pretty powerful. So we delete those and we can just change that to Flappy, but it really doesn't matter, it could still correct it for us. And that now this one is gonna be uh, and this one is not planned, so it was directly agent, so it's just gonna generate the files for us for this one. And in this case, we have all these things that we can review here in the editor section. Here we have a public server and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and say, can you run this locally? Okay, so we can actually build it, but we want to see if we can have this running. So, um, so open localhost. Okay, so now if I go here in the agent and I say ask, now I say, can you run both the front end and back end of this so I can play the game locally? Okay, so let's see what happens. So it's going to tell me all these steps. So you could say, npm install and all these concepts that they're asking about. So what I can say is, okay, instead of ask, and I say run. Okay, I could do that, but instead I'll just go ahead and follow their instructions. So yeah, it was able to do all of that. And then once I said run the game, we have to install npm, the tool, control, and tab. Okay, okay, let's go here, control and tab. So this is the terminal here. So we're gonna do npm install. You might not be able to see this. After that, we have npm start. Okay, now it's running on localhost 3000. Open in Cursor browser or open an external browser. So you have the game landing page, okay, and it generated pretty crazy. So Flappy Bird play game. Okay, so now it directs us to the game. Press space. Okay, try again. Press space. So we press the space bar, and you can see over here the you know the Flappy Bird game has score, high score, and it also makes sound whenever I pass an obstacle. Okay, so if you I like all these changes, I can keep them. So now you can see you can track the score back home, and then you can see over here high score was 7. So it did track it, and then press spacebar or click to apply. Okay, so there's click is also uh, working for playing the game. So there's two options to play it. I'd even ask all of this, and it just created it for me. So now I can, since I like it, I can go here and say keep file. So this is one way, but if I go back to the editor view, and you can see over here, all these source files are here in the index. So in the game.js file, so I could just say keep all, and it's just going to include everything for me. And now that we have all of that, let's go to the Flappy Bird landing page. The landing page is also created. So review next file, keep all. And then what we can do now is, let's say we want to store these. So keep all, keep file. All right. So now let's say we want to version control and save it somewhere so that we can show it on GitHub. So I'll go here in the control and tab. Okay. And over here instead, I'll go with agent this time, and I say use version control. And since my camera is there, so I would go and put it here so that, I mean, my face doesn't block this. Use version control git to create a repo for me on GitHub. Okay, so let's see what it does for me. So there's a Flappy Bird game landing page, and this is this one. So I did over here. So in the next steps, it should do all of that for me. Public server, and there's this server.js. Okay, so it says I can say run. This command is gonna run on my terminal, so I'm gonna run it. Now it says okay, I have this one. Now it's also gonna check if I have gh. So I don't have that one, so I'm gonna say okay. It's gonna do git status run, and you can see it's just gonna run all these commands for me. Okay, git init, so it's initialized to git repository, and you can see over here um, there's gonna be an init file, so we're gonna run add, should add all of the things. Then after that, commit Flappy Bird game, committed everything. After that, git config user.name. So I can run that, and it's hires.bit and email. So you can see over here, this is the email. Now it says, okay, get branch -m main. So if I do that, one I would need is to create a repo for that. So I would go to GitHub and inside the repositories profile section, I would say new repository, and I would call this as Cursor Flappy Bird game. And then we'll just create that repository for me. And this is my git remote at origin. So I can just run this command as well. Okay, copy. And what I would do is I would go here, run. Okay. Your GitHub username is different. As I said, rename the branch main. GitHub repository, run these commands. So git remote at origin. Okay. So if you prefer SSH, you would do that. But what's your GitHub username or your, so I'd say run this command. Okay. Where I got it. Git remote at origin. And it should run this command for me. If not, then I go to the, okay, so I did it. So I run this command and remote -v. Okay, so this is the origin and it's going to push. So after that, the last command is just to push the changes. So push -u origin main. And then hopefully this should push the changes to that GitHub repository. Code has been pushed to the GitHub, and this is the repository URL. The repository is set up with all projects files are committed, remote origin, and push to the main branch. Now, if we go here and want to verify it, just refresh this page, and everything is included. And even there is a README for it. So, um, look how interesting the world has changed. I didn't have to type one piece of code. Everything was just prompted, and it created some amazing game, and it took me just seconds. So the world is definitely changing, and if you want to see more videos like this, where I create more amazing projects with AI, then please follow and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And then hopefully we can go ahead and create more videos similar to this. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment sections. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.